perception with this fun challenge. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. The first one is creepy.
I hate the way he said
This is a famous drawing created in 1892 by Charles Allen Gilbert called All is Vanity. And depending on what you see first, it can come off as a little creepy. Most people who look at it don't even realize that the drawing is much more than it seems. Have you noticed anything unusual about this picture? You have 10 seconds to figure it out.
No, she's not being eaten. It's two different pictures. It's what? It's both.
Those who look at the drawing notice either a woman sitting in front of the vanity mirror or a spooky-looking skull. If you've managed to spot both of them right away, congratulations. Your visual perception is pretty impressive. All right, here are hidden faces. Here's another challenging image where you have to find something that's hidden right in plain sight. Now, at first glance, it might look way too easy. After all, everybody can clearly see at least 4 faces in the tree branches. But like any optical illusion, there's a catch. See how many more faces you can spot in the next 10 seconds.
Manhunt, do you have this?
I see 4 faces.
Bring it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4.
I see none. I see none.
If you found 10 faces hidden among
see
the
none.
branches, then you're an extremely observant individual. Some say that these faces are actually those of famous public figures. Can you recognize anybody?
Ramiro.
Share your ideas in the comments below.
Do you have this?
A fair lady.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
This gorgeous lady must be a ballerina. Otherwise, how does she keep rotating like that with that much grace? Like on her toes? But we're not here to discuss her artistic skills. Instead, can you tell if she is moving in one or 2 directions?
She move in one direction.
Is she?
She move in one direction. That's the question. Is she?
So, what do you think? Left, right, both? The correct answer is she is moving in the right direction. Cafe wall illusion.
What?
The name of this illusion was inspired by a tiled wall of a cafe in Bristol. Like Starbucks? Nah. But I will tell you no more for now. Can you tell if the dark lines are parallel to each other or inclined? You have 10 seconds to figure it out.
Miss. Mr. Beast.
Again, it seemed like an easy question. The lines are so obviously inclined. It turns out that they're not. Let us blur the image quite a bit. More. Now that all the small elements are completely blurred, you can see the dark blue lines are actually parallel to each other. Well, that's not fair. This phenomenon is known as the cafe wall illusion. It was first described more than 100 years ago, but got its name only in the 1970s, when a guy named Steve Simpson noticed a similar effect on the wall of a cafe in Bristol. Little black and white bricks at the intersection of wide lines make this illusion possible. Curved elements inside the blue lines only make this effect stronger. The reason we see this distortion is that our retinal neurons and neurons in the visual cortex work together in quite a peculiar way. Number 5, the impossible triangle.
Oh no.
Meet the impossible triangle. But wait,
Easy.
what makes it so impossible, you
It's
say?
not even a triangle.
You have 10 seconds to figure it out before you hear the explanation.
Yeah, but it's just one line and then 2 lines. But it's not even connected. That's the thing. They're not connected.
The impossible triangle, known as Penrose triangle, is so called because it can never exist in reality. If it did exist, it would be absolutely contrary to the rules of Euclidean geometry. What is so wrong with this figure? Well, if you follow the ball sliding on the surface of the triangle from the top point, you will see that the left side is extending away and the right side is leaning towards you. However,
See, I
they
told
both
you.
seem to be on the same plane. Only an optical illusion makes it seemingly possible to the human eye. Now, number 6, bicycle.
Okay, what's so hard about a bicycle?
It's not the bicycle.
Okay, this one seems pretty plain. There is a bicycle and it's moving. Still, there is something wrong here, something mysterious. Can you figure out what the trick
Pedals are
is?
moving.
You have 10 seconds to
Pedals.
do so.
They're not
Hey,
moving.
just a little tip when you mess up really bad on your game that you should be playing. It's really obvious when you go, oh! So stop.
What makes the bicycle move? Obviously, the fact that the spokes in its wheels are rotating. Nah, you can't be that easy when it comes to optical illusions. In fact, the spokes remain in place, and the colors that fill the wheels, those 50 shades of gray, that keeps changing. This illusory motion effect is created thanks to small,
That's
quick
some
eye
BS.
movements. Scientists are still working on figuring out how this phenomenon works to understand the perception of motion better. Ah, now I present to you Rubik's Cube. What are these red and green and white lines all about? It looks like something familiar, but what exactly is it? If you need more time, just pause the video.
You know, I need more time. He just told you what it was. Just watch. It's
It's
just
a,
something you have to use a special thing to be able to see it. And this was actually invented in like the 1500s. This is-
We are going to need a cylindrical mirror to get the right answer. It's a Rubik's Cube. This optical illusion is based on anamorphosis. Hey, I remember anamorphosis. She used to live down the street. Actually, it's a form of perspective. The idea of it is to transform images so distorted it is almost impossible to guess what they are into something that makes sense using a cylindrical mirror. And it only makes sense if you do it from one special point, so only one person can see it at a time. It would be a great way to send hidden messages. It turns out this technique is not a 21st century 3D era invention. It actually dates back to late Renaissance, which was in the 16th century. Chessboard.
Is it moving or is it not moving?
You can't play any chess with this board because it's moving all over the place. Or is it? You have 10 seconds to do so, and please try not to get hypnotized.
Is it moving or not?
the cubes are moving.
As hard as it is to believe, the eyes actually remain where they were. You can see it if you focus on just one of them. If you stare at one point and ignore the constant movement of black and white dots, it all becomes clear. And dots the way, huh?
That is the way.
Counting down from number 9, upside down Steve Buscemi. Can you tell me what's wrong with Steve Buscemi? I mean, I hope Steve is perfectly fine, but can you tell me what's wrong with the second picture?
Well, yes, obviously it's upside down, but there's something wrong with it.
No, like the eyes are flipped.
Right. The eyes are actually right side up.
These
and they're
pictures
upside
look the
down.
same to me. Hit thumbs up if you think so too. Let's try to turn it upside down. Oh no, that is way too scary. It seems like my eyes tricked me again. By the way, here is another fun celebrity optical illusion. Herman grid illusion and scintillating grid illusion.
What?
Look at this black square crisscrossed with perpendicular white lines. The white dots situated at the intersections of the grid shift their color from white to gray and back. When you concentrate on a particular dot, you see that it's white. But as soon as your attention wanders, the dot turns gray. That's the Hermann grid illusion. Amazing, isn't it?
Great.
We can take this illusion one step further by positioning white dots at the intersections of gray lines. All
Alright. This works because your eye does not like to be uncomfortable. So your eye is going to do everything it can to blend details, colors, fill in the blank, all of that, so that it's not uncomfortable. And those white circles make your eye uncomfortable. So if you stare directly at a couple of them, they will not change. But all the ones around the edge of your vision will change to gray or black.
What the heck?
Now, I like to compare this to, listen. Your ears listen, your mouth does not. I like to compare this to what I call the 10-footer. So I know you have all been in this situation where it could be a boy or a girl depending on who you are. But you see somebody from kind of far away down the street and you're like, oh, they're kind of cute, right? But then you get up close and you're like, oh, never mind. Just kidding, right? You've done that before, and it may not be like somebody you actually thought was cute, but you just thought something looked a certain way and then you got closer and it looked totally different, right? Okay? That's because your eye doesn't like to be uncomfortable. It will change what you see so that it feels comfortable. So you can't trust them eyeballs. Okay? You can't. Okay, I'll let it keep going.
placed on top of the black background. Look at this image attentively.